A grand virtual screen appears, explaining an unprecedented privilege. Because there are 5 elements in your body, you can choose any element, or any profession, as your starting profession. Bai Yi remains stunned as the system drops another sweet shock, the possibility of receiving new professions in the future. Simultaneously, when a certain element has accumulated enough, you can choose to receive a new random profession for that element. Still reeling from the shock, he unconsciously exclaims in confusion, but also excitement, "Wait, what does this mean? What does this mean? Element accumulation." Standing alone in the magical virtual space, Bai Yi can't help but ponder the glorious prospects ahead. In other words, not only can I choose the element and profession I have awakened, but I can also receive new professions later. Shimmering, ethereal job cards appear before his eyes. Among them, a special royal card startles him into exclaiming, "Can receive green, blue, red, yellow, all ranks available. Even a profession with a special rank like that." Suddenly, the system's notification rings out, "That's right, but you can only choose the initial profession. Subsequent professions will be received randomly." Unexpectedly, Belphegor appears. He extends a hand with 5 floating elemental symbols and utters an authoritative phrase, "Then let me help you one time." Feeling the immense power flowing into his body, Bai Yi recognizes the gift the opponent just bestowed, a start that couldn't be better. He can't help but think to himself, "So this is what he brought me." A majestic golden dragon emerges from the energy column, signaling the unlimited awakening ability. Bai Yi stands there with a solemn face. Suddenly, the system notification rings out. After selecting the initial profession, all elemental bars will be cleared. With a smile full of hidden meaning, he seems to have made his own decision after the reminder, "Please choose carefully." Meanwhile, outside, a crowd is waiting, and Jinyu is showing impatience. "Why is he taking so long inside?" he mutters. Suddenly, Qiangxing beside him exclaims in shock, "Ah, he's finally coming out." Finally, Bai Yi's figure appears. Teacher Huang immediately steps forward to inquire, "What profession did you awaken?" Hearing this, he just lowers his head, putting on a mournful face, and says, "I'm truly sorry, I've disappointed you, teacher." Unexpectedly, Bai Yi raises his head with a cunning smile. A green aura surrounds him as he declares, "I awakened the worst profession, co-element warrior, green rank quality." Hearing the result, Teacher Huang's smile freezes for a moment, clearly showing disappointment. "Oh, is that so?" Despite this, she tries to comfort the student with sincere encouragement, "It's all right. Even green rank quality has produced many extraordinary talents. As long as you don't give up, this world won't disappoint you." Feeling slightly overwhelmed by the enthusiastic comfort, Bai Yi looks awkward and replies, "You don't need to comfort me, teacher. You know my heart must not be stable right now." However, Teacher Huang astutely suggests, "You should go rest now. You must have expended quite a bit during the awakening, right?" At that moment, a joyful voice constantly rings out, causing him to think, "Phut, I'm dying of laughter." Qiangxing doesn't miss the opportunity to mock, mimicking Teacher Huang's words with a ridiculing tone and a provocative gaze toward Bai Yi, "As long as you work hard, this world will not disappoint you, huh? I remember the teacher is very capable, so how could she say such useless and harmful platitudes?" However, he merely gives him a sharp glance, a look as keen as a javelin, signaling an unavoidable confrontation. Teacher Huang also turns to look with a serious expression, seemingly sensing the escalating tension. Meanwhile, Qiangxing's voice doesn't stop, "Teacher, do you know?" He and his cronies burst out in arrogant laughter. The reality is fundamentally not like that. Qiangxing pointed directly at Bai Yi's face and spat out contemptuous words without restraint. "Green rank quality, a representative of the lowest tier, lucky to even be here." He continued to whisper into his ear, "This world is just like this. God chooses people, he only selects the strong. The weak can only be humiliated." Hearing this, Bai Yi merely smirked, repeating one word mockingly, "God." Seeing the atmosphere grow increasingly tense, Teacher Huang tried to intervene, "Why are you still here?" Immediately after, Qiangxing didn't hesitate to retort, "You naturally understand, don't you? A green rank profession means that from now on, he only sits in the back row for lectures." "Why is that?" Hearing this, both Teacher Huang and Bai Yi stood there with displeased expressions. Meanwhile, Qiangxing continued his lecture with a triumphant smile, Society is just like this. Those without ability, without background, and without a future will always be in the back row and fairly abandoned. An illustration for his words appeared, showing students clearly categorized by the color of their auras. The strong can receive better resources, and they will grow ever stronger. The green rank weaklings will suffer a tragic fate from the moment they awaken, and can only become low-level janitors among the awakened. Qiangxing concluded his speech with a smug smile and a sharp taunt. He thought, what is this nonsense about relying on effort to change one's destiny? A green rank becoming a genius. Who would believe such platitudes? Hearing this, teacher Huang bowed her head. Sadness was evident in her eyes. This is like how, from the moment a person is born, their future life is already decided. Our awakened academy is merely a miniature world. Qiangxing didn't flinch. He even moved closer to her, challenging her, asserting that what he said was irrefutable truth. Isn't this reality? A green rank profession means being honest about being a waste, just teaching and eating at this school. Immediately after, he turned toward Bai Yi, shoved a cup of water into his face, and told him to go home to avoid wasting government resources, green rank quality. Why aren't you going home as soon as possible? Stop wasting the government's resources. Instead of getting angry, he effortlessly crushed the cup with just one hand. All the water in the cup shot straight into his opponent's face, instantly transforming him from a smug look to a drenched and utterly bewildered state. Qiangxing's face at this moment was a masterpiece of shock. He couldn't believe he had just been unexpectedly showered. Qiangxing flew into a rage from the public humiliation. He roared furiously, "Damn it, what the hell did you do?" Meanwhile, Bai Yi calmly brushed off his hand, replying with a short, disdainful sentence, "I don't want to listen to you talk." His composure further infuriated Qiangxing, making him laugh maniacally and hurl curses, "You motherf." In a fit of rage, he lunged forward with a fist radiating purple energy, intending to teach Bai Yi a lesson for daring to challenge him. "You son of a bitch, this is." Witnessing this, teacher Huang thought in alarm, "Oh no." Suddenly, the system notification chimed. Spike thrust, the star element assassin's basic attack. Attack power increased. Meanwhile, Qiangxing didn't stop shouting, "You want to die." However, Bai Yi's golden eyes only flashed a cold, sharp light. He showed no fear at all. He gently raised his sword. He had used the technique parry, kak duong, to block. This scene completely stunned Qiangxing. He couldn't understand why his full power attack was blocked so easily. His expression shifted from shock to utter confusion, as he realized the person before him wasn't as weak as he thought. With just one gentle move, Bai Yi not only neutralized the attack, but also completely threw Qiangxing off balance. The move was the perfect deflection. His face maintained its calmness, but exuded immense power, showing a clear class disparity. An extremely powerful counterforce flung Qiangxing far away, sending him soaring over the stunned crowd, leaving an impressively long and humorous streak on the ground. Qiangxing was now sprawled on the ground. He coughed up a mouthful of blood, and could only let out a cry of indescribable pain. His arrogant face was now replaced by agony and utter defeat. Meanwhile, Bai Yi remained standing firmly in the schoolyard, enveloped by a golden aura. This scene made teacher Huang ponder, what is going on? He looked around, feigning ignorance of what just happened, an excellent act to hide his true strength. What is going on? Qiangxing's cronies weren't faring any better. They could only stutter among themselves in horror. Did you see what just happened? How did he do that? What was that? Bai Yi's sword still emitted a brilliant light, a testament to the extraordinary power it held. He carried the sword casually on his shoulder and proudly declared, "This profession was chosen by myself." Suddenly, the system chimed, light sword accompanying the core element warrior attack, +20 attack, +20 evasion. With a confident smile, Bai Yi simply explained his reasoning, "I'm just used to it." Qiangxing was trying to struggle to his feet, refusing to accept defeat, and roared, "You just got lucky, only dodging a bit." He braced himself, showing off his rare red rank profession to save face. "I have a rare red rank profession, completely different from low-class trash like you." However, teacher Huang noticed something unusual and mused, "No, that's not right. Just now, that move, it couldn't have been luck." She stared with an expression of utter astonishment, thinking about the special skill the youth had just used. The move he used was the top-tier body movement technique for the warrior profession, called perfect deflection. Earlier, Bai Yi had used it flawlessly. At the moment of receiving the strongest attack, he could nullify the damage. Not only that, but his face also showed a strange calmness. Simultaneously, within 0.09 seconds, exceeding the reaction limit, physical damage is completely reflected back onto the opponent. Perfect deflection, chap3 precise timing for a perfect block, can negate 100% of damage. Within 0.09 seconds, there is a percentage chance to completely reflect physical damage back at the opponent. This is a skill my own master practiced for 10 years and still hasn't fully mastered. He's a newly awakened student with absolutely no combat experience. Meanwhile, Bai Yi stood there emotionless. So how could he possibly do that? Unwilling to concede, Qiangxing summoned his weapon and charged in once more, shouting, "Are you ready to die?" Suddenly, his system chimed with the associated rule for his profession, Star Element Assassin Attack plus 30, Speed plus 30. He continued to hurl insults, swearing to humiliate Bai Yi in front of everyone present. "You waste. I will make you crawl in front of everyone." However, he paid no attention to his opponent's actions. His choice of the seemingly weakest profession obviously had its reasons. Bai Yi stood there, small in stature, but possessing the bearing of an adult from the moment he was born. One's future life and death are decided from birth. It would take many years before everyone realized that this was a grave mistake. His system brought up a new notification, parry, chap3 using a weapon to block and eliminate over 50% of damage, depending on timing and judgment. Perfect deflection, chap3 precise timing for a perfect block can negate 100% of damage, with a percentage chance within 0.09 seconds to completely reflect physical damage back to the opponent. The atmosphere grew increasingly tense. A voice suddenly rang out continuously, "Do they want to fight?" The surrounding crowd began to chatter endlessly. Fighting privately using awakened powers is strictly forbidden in school, especially with so many people present. Qiangxing stood there with a triumphant smile. He kept proclaiming, Hong Qiangxing's father is a high-ranking official, and his uncle is the school principal. As for Bai Yi's family, they are poor and have no background.